spin like op blocks, turning into nightmares for drill's most notorious voices. From Jax to Chirac, Boston to the X, the same hands that hold mics end up in cuffs and dock suits. This is not just rappers catching charges. It's young legends watching their whole future disappear off one gavel bang. This is the story of drill rappers reacting to life sentences.
Yeah, we're going to be out there doing some paperwork. You do have a warrant for your arrest.
We have a warrant for your arrest for murder today.
What?
Yes.
For what?
You want your lawyer, so I can't tell you no more, but you'll be in trouble.
What the heck?
The terror of Jacksonville drill came crashing down when ATKKSOO heard 12 strangers seal his fate forever. The young demon who rapped about dropping ops suddenly found himself looking down the barrel of Florida's justice system with nowhere to run. KSO emerged from Duval County's trenches as one of ATK's most feared members, turning the between ATK and rival KTA into both street violence and streaming gold. While Yungeen Ace became the face of ATK, KSOO embodied its muscle, the king whose name made ops think twice before stepping foot in certain territories. But KSO's rise to drill fame turned into a nightmare in 2020 when cops snatched him for the 23-year-old Lil Durk, a rapper connected to rival sets. The state built their case around surveillance footage, witness testimonies, and most damning of all, KSOO's own social media flexes and lyrics. Prosecutors pointed to tracks like KSOO Homicide, where he spit bars like, "We gon' slide on them, leave them in the dirt, no mercy for the ops," painting them as direct words to Buck's.
What dirt beat? What's up, upload? That's AT. Stupid ass nigga. You about to get caught slipping on that block, boy. Yeah, we waiting on you to slip. On 24! Catch on the drill, take off your neck. Boy, you.
An IG flick of Lil Buck with "Bye Bye" stamped under it sealed the play. Straight self-snitch, gift wrapped for the prosecutors. By July 2025, KSOO sat next to his cousin ATK Scotty, both on trial for first-degree murder, while the whole Duval tuned in. 6 days of testimony went down, victims' families pouring their pain and gang experts breaking down ATK's setup. The jury only needed 3 hours, and July 31st came with a guilty verdict. In Florida, first-degree equals life without parole. No respawn, no second try. Cameras caught KSOO's face as the weight dropped. He shook his head, eyes locked on the judge, the whispers flooding the room. The same drill rapper who once moved fearless through Jacksonville's blocks now sat still, realizing his whole future was going to be cooked. He didn't break down dramatically. That's not how street soldiers react. But word later leaked from the jail phones that KSOO spazzed on the line, saying they trying to bury him for talk, not moves. His sentencing hearing set for September 19, 2025, was just a formality. The real sentence had already dropped when the jury forewoman said he was guilty. Fans immediately lit up social media, turning Reddit's r/Duval County into a war zone of debates. One thread tagged KSOO Post Fulio accumulated several comments with users writing, "Xu need to worry about how he fin get out of jail. Priorities f***ed up." Another fan, u/Jax Real Talk, put it more bluntly, "Xu really is a victim of having the wrong friends who can't figure shit out like men and himself being too loyal." The heaviest blow came from KSOO's own tracks. On Who I Smoke, he dropped bars naming the victim, saying Buck got smoked, now he ghost, ATK forever, basically hand-delivering the prosecutors a confession. What was meant as street stripes turned into a courtroom checkmate. While KSOO disappeared into Florida's prison yards, his tracks kept running numbers. The twist? The same bars that boxed him in still stacked revenue he'll never see. For every kid blasting KSOO Homicide in their headphones, there's a prosecutor somewhere scribbling notes, plotting on who's next. Lil Durk. Chicago's drill godfather Lil Durk built his lane off melodic pain mixed with street tales. Auto-tune on the hook, real life in the verses. From early 2010 mixtape drops, he turned OTF from a neighborhood squad into a nationwide stamp, all while dodging the same crossfire that took countless Chirac legends. Tracks like This Ain't What You Want told the story of Durk's come up through Chirac's trenches, watching Day One homies turn into news clips and RIPTs. While others dropped, Durk leveled up, locking in features, charting albums, and stacking legit paper to move his circle out the line of fire. He even pushed community moves and anti-violence plays, showing layers drill rappers rarely get credit for. But the streets never forget, and Old Smoke always circles back. On October 24, 2024, feds grabbed Durk near Miami International, claiming he was trying to hop flights to Italy and maybe Dubai. The case? For hire conspiracy aimed at Quando Rondo. Payback for the 2020 night King Von OTF's heart got dropped. The charges weren't just heavy, they put Durk's whole legacy on the line. Feds claim Durk put a bag on Quando Rondo's head after Von's fueling a hit squad straight out of OTF's bankroll. They say the play peaked on August 19, 2022, when 5 OTF steppers slid from Chicago to LA, lurking on Quando before spraying up his whip at a gas station. 18 shots ripped, even a machine gun burst. Quando slipped, but his cousin Lil Pab caught it. The paper trail made it ugly. Bank drops, flight lists, hotel logs all pointing to coordination. One OTF homie allegedly covered travel with Durk's own card, while wiretaps caught Durk warning them to book no flights under his name. The nail in the coffin? Durk himself flying private to Cali that same day, alongside co-defendant Kevin London Grant, who feds say copped ski masks for the squad. By November 2024, prosecutors stacked more counts, tying Durk directly to the bag fueling the move. Now he faces 3 Fed charges. Conspiracy, using interstate channels to push a for hire that ended in blasting firearms, including a machine in a violent crime that left on the pavement. Each charge heavy enough to leave Durk staring at life with no parole. Durk's lawyers kept swinging for bail, but every judge shut it down, calling him a flight risk after the airport grab and pointing to the weight of the charges. With trial locked for October 14, 2025, Durk stares at the real chance of spending the rest of his life caged. Prosecutors already announced back in June they won't chase the penalty, but the stakes still max heavy. Fans immediately rallied behind their fallen king. On Reddit's r/rap, a thread titled, "The whole Lil Durk case and arrest bothers me," exploded with support. One fan commented, "I get you, it's the dumbest way to end a top 10 rap career." Another user summed up the Chicago cycle. "Man, he been on that before rapping, you just don't know. That's how it goes in Chicago, you either slide or get ran out the city." Tay-K flipped the drill script at just 17, turning a fugitive run into viral fame with The Race. While most rappers rap about street stripes, Tay-K lived it raw, cutting off the ankle monitor and smashing the gas after house arrest on a 2016 home invasion that left 21-year-old Ethan Walker. He ain't pulled the trigger that night, but just being in the mix had him facing heavy time. Instead of folding, the Arlington teen made his own anthem, turning the manhunt into music and The Race into drill's most infamous runaway track. The story only got darker. On the run, Tay-K allegedly caught another body, Mark Anthony Saldivar, during a Chick-fil-A robbery in San Antonio, 2017. Prosecutors later pointed at The Race itself, quoting bars like, "A beat. I was trying to beat a case, but I ain't beat that case. I did the race," as proof of his mindset and confession to life on the run. The real stab in Tay-K's back came from someone close. During the Saldivar trial, his girl Joanna Reyes flipped, taking the stand as a key witness for the feds. Facing her own case, she cut a deal for a lesser tampering charge in exchange for testifying. She told the court she saw Tay-K lean out the car door and pull the trigger on Saldivar. Prosecutors painted the full picture. Tay-K set up a fake photo shoot with Saldivar over Instagram to rob him of expensive camera gear. When Saldivar resisted, Tay-K and his crew allegedly started beating and pistol whipping him before shoving him out the whip. As Saldivar jumped on the hood to protect his gear, Tay-K reportedly leaned out and fired the fatal shot. By April 2025, the jury dropped the verdict, guilty of downgraded from cap. The next day, Tay-K got 80 years, running at the same time as the 55-year sentence from the Walker case, plus extra time for aggravated robberies. Basically life locked up before even hitting 25, the young drill star now buried behind bars. Reddit's r/hip-hop heads thread, Tay-K sentenced to 80 years, captured fan reactions, with one user commenting, "Jesus, wasn't his other sentence 55 years? He's gone forever." Another user questioned the severity. 80 years. Damn, he's getting out in 2105. For reference, if he were to have completed his sentence today, he would have been in prison since 1945. Tay-K's own music kept coming back to haunt him. Bars like "rob a nigga shoes, rob a nigga lace, we trying to see 100 bands in our face" mirrored the robberies he got charged for, flipping his street flex into prosecutorial ammo. The real tragedy? His age. He was just 17, cutting his monitor and bouncing, barely into his 20s when he got sentenced to what's basically life locked up. His story became the ultimate drill cautionary tale. Youth, viral fame, and choices you can't take back. Lawyers tried to appeal, saying the lyrics shouldn't count as evidence and that his age should soften the blow. But for a rapper who live-streamed and recorded his own crimes in real time, the system offered almost no mercy. Casanova. Casanova ran East Coast drill with raw Brooklyn energy, mixing street credibility with a shot at the mainstream. Tracks like "Don't Run" showed his talent for real storytelling, landing collabs with artists like Fabulous while keeping his name solid in the streets. Casanova didn't just rap gang ties, his link to the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation Bloods was real and well documented, and that same connection eventually caught up to him. While he used his platform to push for reform and invest in his community, the law didn't care. The hammer fell in December 2020. Feds indicted Casanova and 17 alleged Gorilla Stone members in a massive RICO sweep for racketeering, drug trafficking. After dodging arrest for a bit, Casanova turned himself in, starting a legal fight that would strip him of freedom. In 2023, after taking a plea on reduced charges, Casanova got 15 years in federal lockup, but the trouble didn't stop. By 2025, new charges hit, and an 80-year add-on ran concurrent with his old time. What could have let him out in his 50s turned into life behind bars. Prosecutors leaned on Casanova's own tracks, pointing to bars like "Gorilla Stone, we bangin', no peace," from Set Trippin' as proof of gang ties and criminal moves. Using lyrics as evidence stirred controversy. But the feds said these weren't just songs. They were records of real activity. Casanova's case stood out because of his age and established grind. Unlike younger drill rappers barely touching the scene before getting locked, Casanova had legit industry cred and was on the brink of mainstream success. His fall wasn't just wasted youth. It was real potential gone. On the surface, Casanova stayed calm. Raw clips showed him tweeting after the verdict. "Everything to the chin, nothing to the heart." Street code for taking hits without breaking. But behind the posts, he admitted the heavy toll of long isolation, missing family and loved ones while locked up for decades. Casanova's case stood out because of his age and established grind. Unlike younger drill rappers barely touching the scene before getting locked, Casanova had legit industry cred and was on the brink of mainstream success. His fall wasn't just wasted youth, it was real potential gone. K-Flock. K-Flock blew up as the face of Bronx drill's comeback, putting the borough back on the map with raw hits like "Being Honest." His rise from local talent to streaming star happened in months, which made his fast fall hit even harder. Linked to Arrival or DOA crew, K-Flock's tracks didn't just flex street life. They laid out ongoing beefs with rival Bronx sets like Sevside and Chilling Detail. Everything changed in December 2021 when cops grabbed him for the Oscar Hernandez outside a Manhattan barbershop. Authorities said K-Flock approached one Hernandez, mistaking him for a rival, asked his block, then allegedly popped him in the neck and back. Things got heavier for K-Flock in 2023 when feds folded his case into a bigger Bronx gang RICO sweep. K-Flock kept claiming mistaken identity, but with surveillance, witnesses, and his own social media, the defense was stacked against him. In March 2025, the jury split the verdict. Guilty on racketeering, not guilty on murder. Even with the partial win, the RICO conviction carried potential life behind bars, with sentencing set for late 2025. Prosecutors leaned on his own tracks, dropping bars from FTO like "Slide on Ops," "No Mercy," as proof of gang activity. They framed it not as music, but as real-life buzz of criminal moves. K-Flock's reaction showed the weight hitting him. Audio from lockup had him defiant, allegedly saying, "Kill all rats," in reference to witnesses. Courtroom footage caught him emotional when the verdict dropped, fully realizing the chance of never feeling freedom again. Reddit's NY State of Mind thread, "K-Flock found guilty," blew up as fans digested the news. One Redditor wrote, "Idiots if you..." They thought he was getting out even if he did beat that body that legit only determined if he getting life or not. Another said, did this to himself being a lol. K-Flock's own tracks kept coming back to haunt him. Prosecutors pointed to lines like DOA, we up the murder rate as proof of gang ties and violent enterprise. Bars meant to shock or entertain ended up as exhibits, chopping down his freedom. For Bronx Drill, K-Flock's case showed both the genre's reach and its risks. His meteoric rise proved drill could still produce stars, but his fall proved that staying real comes with a trap. Authenticity can put artists behind bars. As sentencing approaches, fans and drill heads are left with tough questions. Can the scene survive when the real voices keep getting locked up? Can artists flex street cred without making prosecutors' jobs easier? Right now, those answers are still up in the air, as more drill rappers feel the cost of turning their lives into music. Fredo. Fredo put Boston on the drill map as the head of 7981 Cal, dropping tracks like Pops that proved the city had its own drill voice. While Chi, New York, and Jax dominated the conversation, Fredo carved out Boston's lane with raw storytelling and a style all his own. Unlike rappers who just flex gang ties, Fredo was a known street figure. Leading 7,981 Cal wasn't just for clout, it was real power, which made him a top target for feds watching Boston's gang scene. The hammer fell when feds indicted Fredo and associates on RICO charges, claiming 7,981 Cal wasn't just a rap crew, but a criminal org tied to drugs and violence. After fighting the case, he got 9 years in federal lockup in 2023 for racketeering and drug distribution. That's some real serious time, but still survivable compared to other drill rappers facing life behind bars. Feds leaned on Fredo's own bars, pointing to tracks like MGMM or Money. Memories, where he rapped slide on ops, leave memories, as proof of real criminal moves. Prosecutors said these weren't just songs, they were straight up admissions, flipping his catalog into evidence. Fredo handled his sentence different from most drill rappers. No public rants, no emotional snaps. He took it with quiet focus, planning to keep dropping music from behind bars. That kind of calm showed a level of maturity younger artists rarely have in the same spot. Reddit threads blew up with fans upset about the lyrics being used against him. U/Boston Street summed it up. Lyrics snitched on him. Free G, showing drill fans are waking up to how music can now serve as legal ammo. What set Fredo apart was his grind to keep dropping music even behind bars. Unlike artists whose careers died with lockup, he kept releasing tracks from federal custody, staying relevant in Boston drill despite being locked away. Bars like, they hear they ran into a killer, showed the street life that got him caught up. Whether they were real events or flexed for effect didn't matter in court. Prosecutors used them to show his knowledge of and role in criminal activity. For Boston's smaller drill scene, losing Fredo was huge. The city's top voice went quiet just as the scene was breaking out. His absence opened doors for new artists, but it also sent a clear warning. Being too real in drill can cost you everything. As Fredo serves time with a shot at freedom in his early 30s, his situation plays out different from drill peers facing life behind bars. Knowing release is possible, he focuses on keeping his music and business moves alive instead of sinking into hopelessness. The bigger lesson for drill nationwide: when your bars reflect the same street life that puts cops on you, success becomes a double-edged sword. It lifts your name and platform while putting you right in the feds' crosshairs. If you like this video, click one of the windows on either side to watch a video similar to this one.